You work so hard. You show up every day. You do what's expected. But deep down, you know the truth. One paycheck shouldn't decide how your life turns out. But what if your evenings meant progress? What if your weekends built freedom? What if your laptop became more than just a screen? This isn't about quitting your job. It's about giving yourself options. While others scroll, you start building. Quietly, consistently, and on your own terms. No pressure, no guessing. Just a clear system you can run after work, before work, or whenever life gives you a turn. That's what Goldmine on hustlesafrica.com is for.
Tuesday.
Haikuzo makasi ni watafute uongozi pamoja wasitafute.
Kweli una maana gani? Una maana wewe ni binadamu ya mavi ya kuku.
Mashamba yetu harambe.
Nguruwe kujikanga na mafuta yake na Afrika itakwisha.
Padani agosho ngai no mwega na endesho de.
Wakati hiyo ilikuwa ukisema ngwe ndani ngwe.
Tuna mikwaruzano, but generally we were one team. So the issue of impeachment came and it ran very fast. Ikaenda kwa kasi. Na mimi nikaangalia hilo jambo kama binadamu, nikaliangalia kama Mkristo, nikaliangalia kama mtu, even before being a politician. Na mimi nikaona sitashiriki. And I went to the people who are promoting it. And I told them, my conscience is not here. Na mimi sitashiriki katika hii impeachment. Na nikawaambia that whatever cost that I need to pay, I will not blame anyone. And maybe that is the reason why, even when I was kicked out of the budget chairmanship, I called you guys in my office. You all expected me to go berserk. But I didn't blame anyone because it was primarily out of the decision I took then. So imekuwa hivyo. It was not an event that then it reached a time tukasema nyinyi edeni na nyinyi mubaki. It is gradual gravitation up to where we are. Just cost them last week during the finance bill vote on Thursday of last week. It is not the way I do things. Nilikosea hapo. It was not abdicating the duty. I've been trying to do as much as possible when it comes to governance in this country, and also especially anything to do with public finances. So whatever happened, I apologize to Kenyans, and we have learned from it to do better and to be better representatives of the people. And if you allow me, because I have been able to look at the feedback from Kenyans, and I felt it is very critical and important that we address this matter the way it is.
I'm not seeing the comments here.
No, it's gonna come. All right, hello there, people of the internet. My name is Ndindi, and this is Political Day coming to you at 7:30 in the evening from the city of Glasses. Today, I'm in the studio with Jeff Wesley. Jeff, what is your Kikuyu name, please?
Why?
But it is.
My Kikuyu name is Kuria.
It's beautiful name.
You see, my
so
name.
Why are you boring us with Wesley and stuff?
Jagero, my name currently carries a very sad namesakes. I share a name with Moses Kuria Kimani from Molo. No, I share my name with unfortunately very sad people.
No.
But that is my Kikuyu name. Kuria is my Kikuyu name.
No.
Moja is Kuria. I feel your pain.
I understand.
Really?
You see, Jagero understands.
When did you like change it to?
No, it has never been changed.
Yeah.
More like now, my going name is Wesley Jeff. People know me that way. Politically, people know me that way. My constituents know me that way.
Okay, can you tell me your second Kikuyu name?
Kuria, yes.
Kuria who?
Kuria Wangui.
Look at that. That's beautiful. That's what we want to say.
Yeah. When you come to the mountain, they will call me Kawangoi.
Kawangoi. Oh,
Yes.
beautiful. I love it. You don't want us to call you Kawangoi?
No.
It's beautiful.
Because now it has been Salid Kawanjiko.
Another sad state of affairs. Why do I look milky on this podcast?
Yes, you do look milky. I think it is.
Is it milk a good thing?
There's a light down there that is making you look milky.
This one.
Yes, there is a light there. They need to twist it a little bit. I don't think the problem is the nini.
I'm looking
the problem
very.
is the light. The problem is the light. But also you've made it worse with your cap because
Yes.
it's heating up.
So now you have to shine.
Let me see if I look bad.
Yeah.
I like the cap though. They should have just fixed it.
Yes.
Oh, now it's fine. This one is your nini is very good.
Yeah.
But that light is not good. It is still a lot on his face, so we could.
I look like a spirit in a movie.
Yeah. In a very bad movie, The Polygamist. All right. Yeah, should get out of his face a little bit. Okay, so people of the internet, thank you very much. Really kind of saying, people of the internet, are you ready for the panel? Thank you very much. Enoch Kwanjala. I think Enoch Kwanjala.
Why am I not saying?
Hello, people of the internet, tuned in here from Kakamega town. Rafael Warioba is saying very much ready. Thank you very much. Josephat Jaiku Buluku is saying a person of the internet tuned in from Doha, Qatar. Thank you very much. Mr. Rafael is saying listening to Ndindi Nyoro, kidding us. Hello, people of the internet, Jambo, Wood County, Jagero, SG, Joachim, and Jeff. I wonder, Jeff, you are what position do you hold at DCP? I hear there are no positions there.
Who said that?
For himself.
Who is spreading these kind of rumors about DCP? I advise the party on policy and strategy matters.
Joachim, can you help me? I didn't go to school. What does
Policy
that mean?
in which sector? I'm a general.
Generally, policy and strategy for the party when it comes to matters youth.
Matters youth.
Yeah.
So you do policy in
when you come to developing maneno ya vijana, when it comes to advising the party on what the people are saying, you see, and we'll get there. I know you're going to ask me about the finance bill protest, and you're going to ask me about Gachagwa's pronouncement. Those are part of feedback.
Your principal actually took off. Watching from Ruiru, people of the internet, that is Pablo saying, Rafael Warioba is saying, don't worry, Mr. Joachim, comments will start flowing like River Kuja. Okay, Martin Maina is saying you need to change that name. It is cast.
That has to be me.
Okay, Joachim, are you the Milky Way? Okay, Natambea says in the next 3 weeks, lawyers will launch a Sifuna party. People of the internet have a lot of jokes. But thank you very much, people of the internet. I want to welcome you to this conversation today. We're just looking at what Ndindi Nyoro looks like being Ndindi Nyoro in 2026. And a few other things that we are going to be talking about. But I want to start this conversation by welcoming Mr. Jeff Wesley, who has never been on a stage with or on a panel with Joachim Simiwi. Yesterday, I had Linda Mwananchi here yesterday, and they were Adrian was very pissed off at you and saying that you guys, I don't know if you watched.
I haven't watched the show.
You haven't watched the
yes,
show yesterday. Yeah. It looks like there is no. What is going on? Linda Mwananchi is not joining you guys, and the writing is on the wall. What is going on? We are having a repeat of 1992.
No, it's too early to say, Jagero. You see, I've always maintained when I come here that whenever a narrative is being spun, you need not only look at it from the point of content of the narrative, but who benefits most from the narrative. So when you say that Linda Mwananchi is joining us, That is a state perspective. Because we have consistently agreed that Linda Mwananchi needs to do what they are doing. They need to build capacity. On this show, there has been criticism that Linda Mwananchi is developing their own constituency that they don't have.
Okay.
So right now, they're in the process of doing that. Joining us right now, we share a common cause and we know where we're going. But joining us right now is not the primary end goal. That will come once they have their own constituency. And you see, I hear you say, Linda Mwananchi, people were angry at some things I have said before, and I still maintain those things. Because it is the supporters of Linda Mwananchi who seem to be pushing a narrative that their principle is not. Okay. If you see, their principle is he's taking on a very consultative perspective. Because he understands the risk of being carried away by the Kenyan hype. They will tell you are the king and you are the savior and you are God's gift to Kenyans today. Okay. And then they will leave you hanging high and dry. So right now, it's not a question of whether Linda Mwananchi will join us. They also understand what the people have told them. The end goal is to have one presidential candidate. But every one of these players within the segment of politics that says one term needs to carry their own weight towards the effect of having one candidate.
There is no Kenyan that is telling me that opposition is going to want to have one candidate. And it looks like only the consultants and the advisors of the principals believe so. But everybody else is not seeing a united...
Who is this everybody else, Jagero? Because we also live in Kenya.
Told me when I was treating him to tea, laced with a marula outside.
Is that tea or uji?
My tea tasted weird. I'm asking, why is this tea tasting this way?
Yeah.
I put a marula in.
You trusted Jagero with your drinks.
For attempted mad.
It was a bottle top of a marula. Yeah, just to make the... But anyway, so it looks like only the principals believe that they're going to be in a united, fronting a united opposition. But it looks like... And somebody would be wondering, why is Sifuna doing consultative meetings without being sent by Chama to do those consultative meetings?
Which Chama? He says consistently is in a movement for Linda Mwananchi.
Why was he apologizing to your principal and telling him that we're going to work together?
I mean, because that's the end goal. When I was here last, Jagero, and I hope you don't have selective amnesia, but when I was here last, I remember I told you, this is one of the only points of politics that we know what the end goal is. In previous coalition building exercises, there has always been the question of what is going to happen at the end. That is why even when Raila Odinga has been consistently trying to build coalitions, there has always been the question of the flag bearer. And because we really did not know what would happen, because Kalonzo is feeling this is his time. There was a question of Baba being so big that he does not see himself at that point giving up all his support to someone else. That has always been the case. But this is one of the only unique times where people have already told all the stakeholders, this is what is going to happen. Whatever you guys do and whatever games you want to play within the political backrooms, this is exactly what you need to do. So fortunately or unfortunately for Linda Mwananchi, their building capacity is also leading somewhere. And you see, Linda Mwananchi is the new baby in the block. And with coming, when you are the newest entrant to any conversation, you are filled with a lot of... for lack of a better word, and at the risk of offending Linda Mwananchi's supporters, naivety and gleeful hope that you are the special one that nobody has ever seen. But they are slowly coming to the realization that other players have also come to. And I like to speak about my principal regarding Gachagua a lot. He has gotten to that point. This 45-day consultation that you see him doing as we speak is towards that end.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the consultation that he's doing? Because a lot of people are saying that he's effectively abandoned the All Kalau elections and surrendered to President William Ruto. And so he's gone to hide, saying that, should he fail, he's going to come out and say, I was not in the field. And that is why... Narratives,
Jagero, narratives. Who benefits from that narrative? I need you to tell me who is benefiting from this narrative you're driving. Because have you seen President William Ruto in All Kalau himself?
No.
But you have seen his agents go there.
Yeah, but Nyama inapewanwa.
Nyama inapewanwa, and his agents have come there with a lot of force. They have now a land registry. There is a train that has not functioned since the 70s. The water PS is there. The roads PS is there. There's a lot that is going on.
Everybody's there.
Everybody's there. But you see, the state has the luxury of doing that because that is within their purview.
Yeah.
Even for us, we're doing the same thing, only that people don't want to talk about it.
Giving to those people?
Because we have...
Itumbi is giving 2 kilos per household. And they are connecting every household with water.
Jagero, I think at this point,
what are you doing?
On political headache, you're going to put a chart here for me so that I can always refer you to history.
Okay.
I told you the government is not creative. And the government is not creative, not because it lacks people who can be creative, but because it assumes the Kenyan electorate is a predictable society.
Okay.
They are trying to take the same tactics they took to Mbeere North in Olkalau. But the problem that they are finding there right now is that tactic is highly expensive.
Okay.
Last time they were saying they were buying a voter's card for about 2,000 shillings per vote. Now in Olkalau, the going price is about 5,000. Even now as we speak,
it's happening in Olkalau.
Yes, the government is so desperate, they have now taken a gas program there.
What, a gas program?
Yes, a gas program where they allegedly are giving out subsidized gas at lower prices for people there to apparently try and spur people to join government side. I have seen the same man you have mentioned today go to Harambe and give, I think, in excess of 100,000. So the government, as we speak, has a bottomless pit. And for them, the instructions from what little birds are telling me in government, they're telling me, yes, little birds in government, flies on the wall.
Okay.
You need to have those in politics so that you can know things.
For sure.
They're telling me that the instructions from the highest offices of this country is that there is no limit to what they can do there. It is a blank check for them.
They want to vanquish Gachagua once and for all.
It's not about vanquishing Gachagua. It is a larger narrative that they want to drive. But they're finding a lot of problems in
narrative,
UDA.
I assume, is that we can beat him in his backyard.
No. It's because, one, they know they are working from a deficit.
Okay.
You see, you need to look at Olkalau. Sorry. You need to look at Olkalau from a point of context.
Okay.
When the MP who was there died, he was a 3-term MP called Kiaraho.
Okay.
The guy who was his runners-up is the guy who is in DCP now. Then he was the runners-up in UDA. It's called Sammy Douglas Kamau Waweru. The government tried to mess with the name Ngodho. But nonetheless, the Olkalau people don't care. They are still going to vote in their guy. So when this guy has been there, he's not a familiar face to Olkalau. He's not an unfamiliar face to Olkalau, let me say. He's a very familiar face.
The KCDF
they know him.
Chairman.
No? Who?
KCDF chairman. Was
no,
it?
No. That is the UDA candidate.
That is the UDA candidate.
Mushina,
yes.
who was working for the late Kiaraho.
Okay.
I'm talking about the DCP candidate.
The DCP candidate
called Sammy Kamau Douglas Waweru.
Yes.
He has been the coordinator for DCP for Nyandarua, which he resigned to pursue this politics. However, what I'm telling you right now is that the strategy that the government is using that they were using in Mbeere North is completely not working, because these same people, they have to give out merchandise every day. You see, when you go, if you're a political animal anywhere in this country, you know, Joachim, if someone likes you, they will wear the same hat you give them from the time you give them to the next time you see them.
Yes.
Right? UDA have to give new merchandise in every time they go to a particular place,
because people are throwing them away.
Yes, they are throwing them away consistently. They are taking, na unasikia wakisema sisi tuko kazi, as soon as mkutano imeisha wanatupa hizo, wanangojea za kesho zikuje. Even the biggest part of their costing is giving out merchandise. You see that when people go to DCP meetings, they come with the same merchandise they had.
Yeah.
So it's because they want to be seen
because
with
they
this.
love you, or because they are broke?
Because they like it.
Okay.
If they really loved, if merchandise was about being broke, then UDA people would be seeing people in Olkalau stages za pikipiki wakiwa wamevalia hizo kofia za UDA, but they are not. You are seeing people there, they take them, they go throw them away, but you will see a DCP cap here, there, the other place.
So why are they taking them? Because it comes with it is part of the package that comes with money too.
You see, it's the package that comes with money, and it is good for photo ops.
Oh,
them taking it is not about them, it's about the people who are giving them. So they want to have a nice photo showing the colors of their party.
Oh, I see.
Of the wheelbarrow party. But now,
the wheelbarrow party?
Yes, that wheelbarrow party. But as soon as they are done with that meeting, ask them where those merchandise are. They don't want them. And they are telling you, hizi pesa, because let me tell you something I heard from Olkalau. Yeah. Because when you are advising on strategy and policy, you need to have your information right. I called some people there and they were telling me that the government had a program where they were giving out mattresses. Mattresses. Some mattresses that were labeled GOK. And the grandmothers there.
Those are mattresses that should be going to
Kakuma. Yes. And the grandmothers there were looking at these mattresses and they were saying that mimi nitachukua mattress ya mgonjwa nikiwa mzee hivi. Ndio niende nikuwe mgonjwa nikufe. So they are looking at those mattresses that they know they are supposed to be for sick people and needy people that are being given to them as a campaign strategy, and they are very wary about them. Wanasema hii labda tuweke kwa nyumba ya ng'ombe zilalie. That is what it has resorted to for the UDA government in Olkalau. And people are even starting to say in other constituencies, then I don't know whether we should be praying for our legislators to die so that we can see these things. But because Olkalau has set a very bad example of how expensive a by-election for an unpopular government can be.
I hear the one in Mbeere North cost 1 billion.
Now, if you are good at mathematics, multiply whatever it costs by 3.
In Olkalau?
Yes.
Wow. Joachim is pretty much, mute about this issue. What is going on, Joachim? What is going on? What is going on there? What is going on in Olkalau? What is the government trying to do? Is this what is coming in 2027? Should we be ready? What is going on?
No, the trends.
Sum it out for me.
The trends in a by-election are not the same in a general election. In a by-election, everyone is running their race. When you are running for president, even some of you are very key people will not be picking your calls because they have their race to run.
Absolutely.
You are running for governor in Homa Bay and water is here. You can't start thinking about how Ruto is doing.
Yeah.
No. It's about you, myself. How do I win here? Let us talk about the country and your presidency when we have won. So the trends in a by-election and in a general election are completely different because you can't send 7 PSs in one constituency in a general election.
Is that what is happening in Olkalau?
Right now, Felix Korir was there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alice Wahome was there. The PS Hannah Wendot, the CS, Hannah Wendot was there. The PS for water, for housing, all of them are there. In a constituency where that prior to this, in fact, there was a question that people were asking. This road that you're coming here to launch, because the now CSs are actually launching roads. One of the strategies, yes, one of the strategies they have. Water taps. Yes, one of the strategies they have is they want.
I believe that Kenya Power is there with their electricity poles.
Absolutely. Let me tell you, their strategy is to launch something every day. They're trying to bamboozle the Olkalau voters so much that they are launching something every single day. And let me tell you, when this candidate for UDA loses, that will be the last time he will see any of these people, as Joachim is telling you. Because in a by-election, it is a matter of convenience, not about a governance for the government. It is about convenience. It is about narrative spinning. And remember, the reason why William Ruto is doing this is because he himself is a beneficiary of narratives such as this. Because when he was in UDA and he was campaigning for Kawanjiko in Kiamba, he understood that if he defeats the government and if he makes the government lose in Kiamba, they will start to spin the narrative that the hustler narrative has caught fire so much in Mount Kenya that it is enough to sway the general mood of the Mount Kenya people. And it did. The moment he won in Kiamba, that is when you should go and look at the campaign videos for Kawanjiko, because I was there. Some of these people, they were saying Kawanjiko had been coached to say the word hustler as many times as he possibly could in whatever advertisement he's doing for his MP bid. So that when he wins, or if he won, at that point in time, then it would look like the hustler narrative is in the mountain. So he understands.
Were you in UDA by then?
No, I was in Kenya Kwanza. Sasa story ni yangu ama ni yako Joachim? Let me tell you. No. I was in a party. I was in a party within the Kenya Kwanza, and we supported William Ruto. I was the national youth leader for a party within the Kenya Kwanza coalition.
The service part.
Yes, so you know. Then what is he knows. Joachim is trying to be stubborn here, and he knows.
But so you were
So at that point,
so
we were supporting.
So that is your only happiness, that you were in another party that was within Kenya.
No, we were
which was
supporting.
really UDA.
We were no. We were supporting.
It was
Had
a
different
tributary
interests.
of a big river,
Yeah.
which was called.
Whatever you may call it, that is water under the bridge.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Having seen this guy supporting, belonging to the Chama cha Wheelbarrow before 2022,
Yes.
and them dancing with when during the launch,
Yes.
and now is so much about Ruto must go home. What does that make you think as a Kenyan? What has happened?
This should be interesting.
He has had a Damascus moment, or what has happened?
I want to feel that it could be a Damascus moment.
Okay.
But let me speak on my own behalf.
Okay.
For me, the discussion about one term, I'm past that. So it's an agreement we had a long time ago.
Yeah.
We agreed already. It's not a discussion that it has to happen. It's done. So it's not a question of discussion of either one term or two term. No. We already agreed that, you see what? Whichever plan we have cannot go through without someone going home.
Yeah.
So Ruto must go remains a constant. It's our entrance point into the room. What we should be talking about now is, okay, what are we doing inside this room? That, you see, the discussion about anybody who wants to run, whether president, whether member of parliament, like the person who is running for a member of parliament in Olkalau, in whichever party, do they know what they are going to do in parliament? What problem is waiting for them? Because that is the question. After we have celebrated that Joachim has won a seat, then you see, Kenyans are very funny. After they celebrate your win, it's like people pushing you up a mango tree.
Okay.
They have seen some ripe mangoes on the tree. And because they cannot climb the tree, all of them, they say, you are a little bit agile, let us push you up the mango.
Okay.
Once you ascend the tree and you can now access the fruits,
Okay.
you are not, you don't expect them to push you further. They now want you to drop the mangoes to them.
Okay.
Otherwise, they will shake the tree. They will shake it so violent that you can't be comfortable up there.
Okay.
So you will you will be saying, no. Don't shake the tree, boy. That's what William Ruto is saying. Wakenya wameshika muti.
Kwanza, big led by Jeff.
Wameshika muti. William Ruto amekaza, wacha. Wacha kabisa. Because it's not about wao kukusukuma. Hawakukusukuma juu wanakupenda. You are the easiest to push. So they want you to drop
the mangoes.
The mangoes.
And they are dropping financial bill.
Wewe unatupa tu mbegu, umeshakula, unatupa mbegu, umekula.
That has to be a very good example. I think that
wewe jinsi umesikia Ruto anatupa nini?
anatupa mbegu. Huyu mwenye tuliweka kwa hiyo mango tree ya Joachim, hata mbegu atupi. Mbegu anasiaga, anatupa mchanga huko chini.
Alienda na kagunia mbegu, hata asianguka anaweka kwa kagunia yake. So, it is not peaceful up there.
Okay.
You not eat the mangoes in silence. They will be looking up at it. No, we have just seen a ripe mango there. It's now missing. Where is it? You've not dropped any.
Oh my goodness.
So the question, I am not worried about how we will win.
Okay.
Because the numbers we have are so tremendous. They will definitely send the guy home. I'm worried about the aftermath. Because we have an opportunity to change this country democratically in 2027. And put in leadership that actually works for the people. Because you need to look around us and read the room. Kenyans are not very quiet. And I want to bring us back to around 2013, when schools were being banned here and there. And the government of that time did not think about these people who are banning schools in 2013. In the next few years, they will be on the streets here with them. How are they going to behave? The children who are banning schools in 2013 are the ones who went up to parliament and threatened a regime up to a point where the military was on the road. We are having a repeat of the same scenario. That there are children in high schools who, upon a slight provocation, they burn down a whole dormitory. So we have to have a country that is very cognizant.
And fair.
And fair. The resources are reaching everyone. You will not eat good meals in your house and a multitude of people are hungry out there. They will come for your meal on the table. That's the situation we are about to get into. So my biggest worry is now, because now after 2027, when I appear on this podcast, I will not be coming to hammer anyone. I'll be coming to
defend yourself.
It will be defense now. Sahi I am a striker. Natafuta tu ball nipige kwa net. At that time,
unakimbia in the D area.
Yes, at that time I am now a defender. I have to come here and Jagero, you'll be asking, what about ODS debt? We are still paying. What about free education? It's missing.
Yeah.
What about this one? I have to actually come with the deliverables and say, Jagero, when we told you ODS debt, we stopped paying on our day one. When we told you free education, are you paying school fees? When we told you free healthcare, have you gone to any hospital? And the feedback should be coming from the people to us. So in all these discussions, the question is not actually who is going to become president. The question is, what are they going to do?
And that is what Wesley will never tell me.
No. You see,
what Wesley
Jagero, let me tell you something about Jagero.
Yes.
I ask,
Every time,
let
me tell you.
Zwena will never tell me. I will not hear it from Sifuna. I will not.
Let me tell you.
Akitoka na gonga ruto kugonga lakini ania.
Wacha nikwambie.
Yes.
Jagero has a case of nitpicking. I like to tell him he nitpicks a lot on what he hears when I speak. I have constantly told him that some of the things that even he's talking about, we share. At some point, I'm thinking we are looking at the same manifesto because I told you the other day that whenever you are faced with an immediate crisis, the idea of the moment is to solve that crisis fast. And the crisis of today is William Ruto and his government. We are on a surgery bed today as Kenya. So you coming to tell me that I should be worried that somebody is knocking at the door of my house is inconsequential at this moment. Allow me to first of all do this radical surgery.
Okay.
And I've told you consistently that William Ruto and his government have given the opposition such an easy time. That is why Joachim here can tell you confidently that we have a lot of numbers. Because in every move that William Ruto does, he drives up numbers against himself. So when you go and attack pay slips, and we have told you that one of the things that at DCP, our principle is key about, is restoring dignity of the pay slip. I don't know if you understand how key that matter is. Dignity of the pay slip. You see, Joachim, have you seen that nitpicking? I have said dignity of the pay slip. He has just said dignity. So now, I think about that employee, that teacher. Teachers, I am passionate, and this is one of the things that I am very passionate about as Wesley. We cannot trust a whole generation of young people to people who are underpaid, overworked, and working in continuously degrading circumstances, and you expect magic to happen. When these teachers go and look at their pay slips, and you're telling a JSS teacher who has just been enrolled by government, which is a very, very huge thing that government likes to talk about, that they're going to survive on 17,000 shillings for 2 years before they are confirmed, you're telling this person, and especially if that person might be working in Nairobi or wherever they might be working, 17,000 for 2 years before they are confirmed, before they get that final confirmation for PNB. called PNP. When you tell them that that is what they are meant to do, they look at you and they wonder, are we living in the same Kenya when you have come here and you are on top of a Range Rover? It does not make sense to them. When you go to that civil servant who has previously been in a solid healthcare program that allows them to go to hospital and get treated with the cover of their payslip, this person can take an emergency loan and buy a shamba in Kamulu Joska. Kwetu zinaitangwa buroti maguta. When that one is no longer a situation, because now their HELB loan is looking at them, it's a deductible. Their health program is a deductible. And still that health program, I told you, they're being deducted and it's not helping them, because when you look at it, the government is constantly playing aviator with healthcare. That you can go here, SHA is going to work today.
Aviator, the betting.
The betting. You don't know when it's going to work for you and when it's not. So when you look at the statement that we are going to restore the dignity of the payslip, first of all, that affects 85% of the workforce already who are touched by the matter of payslips. You look at the funding model. It is collapsed because it has created a situation that is not predictable before. Right? You cannot tell where you're going to be placed. You are a person who is in need, but you're being placed in a band that tells you that you're not in need, because the model itself is unpredictable. You look at SHA. This is healthcare, and I keep on talking about healthcare when I'm here. When we say now, Jagero, without belaboring the details that I have already said before, when I tell you that our main agenda is to act on restorative politics, right? To restore Kenya to a working place first. As Joachim is saying, the problem is, what country do we want post 2027? You will not hear that because you want to say that we don't have an agenda. But I have consistently told you that the people we speak to are the payslip holders. The people we speak to are the ones who pay SHA.
So can I chime in a little deeper on the same problem?
But I want to ask him, who is the man who is going to take care of all these things?
No, before we get there, you see, before you prescribe medicine,
you need to know the problem.
To know the problem.
So you are speaking for DCP?
No. We are speaking for the country.
For the country.
Because whatever decision we make in the opposition shall have effect on everyone. Doesn't matter who are you. So my approach has always been like this. We are here to solve a problem.
Okay.
No, the question now becomes, what is the problem? We have to describe it. If it's back pains, if it's fever, if it's what. So you look at the symptoms and decide these are symptoms of which disease. So you are using the symptoms are what you are feeling, you arrive at a problem. Say you could be suffering from hypothermia.
Yes.
Then you now prescribe medicine to that particular problem. Because if you are in a rush, you are more likely to treat symptoms instead of actually addressing the big problem.
Yeah.
Now, in your reference to payslips, I am thinking the problem of payslip is continuous raiding by government. We are in a position where there is more than double taxation on an income. You have paid pay as you earn, deducted on your income. You have paid VAT. You have paid housing levy. It's deducted on my income. So what's the end goal? The end result is that my income keeps on shrinking. The problem is the cost of living, the household cost in my house keeps on increasing. So the income and the expense are not in synchrony. So we further ask ourselves, what is motivating government to keep on raiding the payslip of a Kenyan? What are they looking for when they keep on coming back with tax bills, asking us to give them one more coin? What could be the problem? The government is looking for revenue. And what is driving government to look for revenue more and more and more? It's because we have expenditure that we need to offset. On this expenditure, what are we spending on? Because we are giving government a lot of cash, not less than 2 trillion every year. My friend, Countries that pay, we are paying around almost 50% of our income goes to taxation. We are almost like France. France is doing the same. But look at what the French are getting out of the tax that they are giving. A French citizen is entitled to education of their children. They get good roads. They are 100% sure that when they show up at a hospital, they will get medicine. And we are told to keep quiet because we are not the only country in the world that is paying taxes to that level.
that extent.
But the question is, what is the return on our investment? So, for us to deal with this problem, we need to know, where is our money going? Where is our money going? When we give you taxes, what are you doing with it? Taxes should be spent on the best interest of a citizen who is a sovereign. So, is it being spent on our best interest? No. Why are we having this hospital here? It's called what? Mbagathi. Why are we having patients sharing beds? Why are we having meds missing? The government keeps on borrowing to a tune of 1 trillion every year. To finance what? Because borrowing is not bad. Some people have thought that as Safina, when we speak about borrowing, we do not want the government to borrow. No. Borrowing, that's why it's provided for in the Constitution. Because it's a necessity. But what's lacking is, what are you borrowing for? When the government tells you we borrowed 1 trillion last year, that's not what you should hear. What should follow is the 1 trillion was spent here, here, and here. So that we are like, oh, okay, because any borrowed coin is paid by our taxes. You do not borrow money to pay a loan. You borrow to spend. And then Kenyans pay that loan by their taxes. So if we are spending most of our taxes on payment of loans, it's therefore fair for us to ask, what are we paying for? What did we do with the loans? Did we approve it? Where did we deposit the borrowed money? Then, if that's answered, then we are okay. Because we are saying dignity of a pay slip. We are trying to prevent government from coming for our taxes. For our pay slip. Because if we continue, there will be more raiding. So how do we get government to stop and actually go down on raiding pay slips? By taking care of our expenses. The biggest expenditure item on our budget as we speak today is debt. It's nothing else.
Yeah.
So, like for example, this budget, we are going to borrow 1.1. It's in our budget. Wamesema. But development budget ni pesa ngapi? 760. Our constitution says we borrow only for development. Why are we borrowing 1.1 when our development is 760? So why do we need an extra 340?
Do we know what this development is earmarked for? The money, the 760, what is it going to do?
I have not gotten into the nitty-gritties, but there is building of roads, refurbishment of stadia, and so many things. They talked about data centers.
Security.
We have no enough power to run a data center. We produce 2,400 megawatts in 1 year. Our consumption is 3,600. We import from Ethiopia. One data center runs on 2,000 megawatts, one. So we cannot build one unless we want to shut down half of the country. We do not have power. If you want to increase the manufacturing of power in the country, our grid cannot handle it. It is 40 years old. We need total refurbishment of the power grid.
But Ruto has earmarked some billions for a data center.
Yes, he mentioned it. I saw him mention. I will look into the nitty-gritty so that when I appear next, I can give you the itemized budget on development. What are we going to spend 760 billion on? Now, if that is all our development in a whole financial year, why do we need 1.1 trillion in loans? It means that we shall spend 340 billion on a recurrent expenditure. Recurrent expenditure could be payment of salaries, allowances, and even paying of loans, which in our our laws, it's an illegality. So that's why the question of how comes out so bigly. When because there is one point we share with our friends in DCP: free education. Once you say free education, the question that follows: how much is our education per year? In our costing, it's 225 billion. Now, where do you get it? Now, you have to show us our revenue. How do we now segment in this budget that we have? Where are you getting the 225 billion to finance free education? So you have to come and say, this is where we get the money. You see? If you fail to tell us where you are going to get the money, then you can rest assured we will not be able to achieve that goal.
Do you think DCP is going to get that money?
They have a formula they will tell us. For us, we are saying...
You've heard that formula? You have heard of it?
It will be my privilege to hear it from him. I don't want to preempt.
Okay.
For us, we are saying, on this biggest expenditure line that we have, which is debt, most of it is illegal. So we stop paying of illegal debt, we direct the money to education.
Mr. Wesley, you guys are going to be paying all the debt, but how much, where are you going to get the free education money from?
See, one of the things that happens in this country and has been magnified in William Ruto's government is theft of public resources. Every time that we talk about this country bleeding dry, the first question is, as he's talking about very well, he has elucidated what the problem is, where the money needs to go. The question is, how much money do we lose as a country on a daily? You see, this loss of money that happens within the Kenya Kwanza government led by William Ruto is the kind of thing that you need to, first of all, close those gaps and bleeds from the government. That money you are talking about, Jagero, if today we had a serious leadership in Kenya Kwanza that was meant to plug the gap of what we are losing daily as a country, some of these debts would not be there. Because if Uhuru came and told us that we are losing 2 billion a day, then in William Ruto's government we are losing more. If you just do the costing for a month of loss, how much is that? Approximately, if you're losing 3 billion per day for 30 days, that's 90 billion. You just equate that to what the budget has been allocated to, and you see how much money you can save by the loss that is made by this government. And we do not even talk about, leave alone the corruption money, we're not talking about the money that is going into places that we don't know. For example, and as you know, is my habit, is to draw parallels from different areas.
Yeah.
A man I don't admire very much, Robert Alai, has consistently come out to say that in the county government, the collection of revenue in the county, they as MCAs cannot verify for you who collects and where it goes. And that is Nairobi County Assembly telling you that. The main custodians who are supposed to check the government are telling you we don't know who collects this revenue that Nairobi gets. That system is nowhere. So we have the same duplications of that kind of bleeding in the national government. When you have PPPs that are advertised and presented to the nation after completion, things that are supposed to benefit the citizenry are presented to you after they have just been approved. You are hearing that a contractor who is known very well for electoral fraud is tied to a company that has been given the refurbishment of JKI. Then you go back to the previous history of JKI with Adani. Then you look at the kind of thing that the government is leaning on in terms of PPPs. It is shrouded in opaque and mystery that you cannot put your finger on. Those are the places where you get money, Jagero. It is not rocket science.
Can I say something about PPP? PPP is a clever way of President Ruto to circumvent the budget.
Sure.
By doing PPPs, you now, as a country, are running two budgets concurrently.
Concurrently.
One is approved by Parliament and the other one is not. One budget can be audited by the Auditor General. The control of budget can approve expenditure, but the other budget is mysterious. For example, the National Infrastructure Fund. Infrastructure Fund, the Auditor General has no jurisdiction of knowing what is happening.
There.
We
Cannot
can't
audit
even
it.
tell how much it's holding now. Because they say, how are we funding the National Infrastructure Fund? By the proceeds that are coming from privatizing state assets. My problem with that proposal is that we do not have an infinite resource state assets. So if we finance National Infrastructure Fund this year by selling 10 state assets, the next year another 10, we only have 65 earmarked for selling. So how far can we go with that? All the countries that have something similar to what we have, the National Infrastructure
It's
Fund,
very accountable and trackable.
what funds it? What funds it is their rare earth minerals, if they have something extra from taxes. That what we have taxes goes to consolidated fund and be approved by Parliament for expenditure. But what we get as proceeds of minerals goes to the infrastructure fund, the sovereign wealth fund, which still the Parliament of the country has jurisdiction over. They can direct how we can use the money. But in this case, it's a blind spot. We can't see. We liquidated Kenya Pipeline Corporation, put all the proceeds in the National Infrastructure Fund. Where I am, the proceeds of that liquidation is revenue. Because how did we build the Kenya Pipeline Corporation? From the money given by taxpayers, they built the corporation, which means liquidation of the project is Kenya's people's money. That's revenue. Where do you put revenue? You put it in the account of the people, which is a consolidated fund. If you have to come up with something else, still Parliament, who are the representatives of the people, must have jurisdiction over to dictate allocation of the money to different projects. It's not the same here. Now, why does President Ruto need to come up with these clever ways to circumvent budget? Because what gets into consolidated fund, the first charge on consolidated fund is interest on loans, which this year alone is 1.1 trillion interest. So if we give him 2.7, we remain with how much? 1.5. So counties need how much? 450 million. So we remain
450
with
billion.
billion. So we remain with 1050 billion, 1 trillion and 50 billion. How much is operation and maintenance? 600 billion. So we remain with half. How much is salaries per year? 960 billion. So we already have a shortfall of close to 300 to just do salaries of the year. So how do we fund the 760 deficit for development? We have not talked about money allocated to education. We have not talked about money allocated to health. We have not talked about money allocated to anything. And we have a budget of how much? 760 billion. So any money in the consolidated fund is not enough to run a country. So President Ruto, for him to keep showing up and launching his tombstones, is to come up with this.
Launching his what?
Tombstones. He goes, erects a tombstone, writes names, President Ruto launched this thing here, then it does not kick off. It does not kick off because he has to keep that showbiz. He's borrowing money every day for a government to survive. It's estimated that per minute he's borrowing 46 million. Because if you are borrowing 5 billion every day, per minute, that's how much?
46 million.
Yes. And that is
Jagero.
Before my brother comes in.
Can I get to?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me
then
tell
I
you.
come back to you. Yes.
I like how Joachim has broken it down from a numbers perspective. Now I want you to think about what that vice of PPP is, because ideally, this PPP, public-private partnerships, should not be a bad thing. However, I have consistently talked about the process of how we get there being the problem. And I have emphasized that as he talks about the numbers, let me give you about the legal implication. I want you to assume that you have sent an agent to negotiate the sale of your land, worth maybe 1 million shillings. Let's make it very easy, 1 million shillings. And then this agent goes to represent you, and you have given them the leeway to engage bidders for your land. But when they get there, they not only sell your land undervalued, they don't tell you that they have sold their land and your land undervalued. So now land that was worth 1 million shillings, you find out that your agent sold for 300,000 shillings. You were not told, and they pocketed the 700,000 shillings. So they have surrendered your title deed. You have been given orders by the court to vacate the premises so that the buyer can enter and develop the premises. And then you are told that the money that is actually expected to hit your account is 300,000 before deductions. That is exactly what President William Ruto is doing. Because let's not pretend that President William Ruto does not act as an agent of Kenyans. He has rightly told you that the PPP is a clever way of not being audited or being accountable to anybody. So when you negotiate a deal, for example, the Adani deal, you saw why the resistance that was there to Adani deal. It was not because Kenyans in their right minds did not want the JKIA to stop having leaking roofs. It is because you're telling us that for 30 years, there will be implications of this particular deal that you're signing today. And you will not be there. And I have said, President William Ruto is not going to be a permanent fixture in this country. None of us are. And if Joachim and us and the rest of the people in the United Opposition work the way we are working, he will be a one-term president. So you're telling us that in 30 years, the effects of what he's doing carelessly today, we will have to feel them in 30 years. In 30 years, I will be 60, 30. Jagero. I will be 60.
If we continue...
How old are you now?
I am 30.
If we continue this trajectory, for us to get even an opportunity to change anything, it will be after 40 years. After 40 years, I will be the age of Musalia Mudavadi. So, Kenyans at that time will be asking, where were you?
What were you doing when the country was being robbed?
Yes. So, ndugu yangu, I have always given you a scenario.
Why is it that when you guys talk from the opposition, it looks like like we are going to be we are teetering on the edge?
You think when people are on Twitter, just give me a second, Joachim. When people say we don't have a country here, you think it's a joke?
It's not
a joke.
Let me ask you.
And this is all Ruto's doing.
No.
Ruto has exacerbated the problem.
We can't say that every problem of Kenya has been brought by Ruto. That will be lying. But he has continued worsening the bad situation. When Ruto came in, 68 shillings out of every 100 shillings was going to debt payment. 68 shillings out of 100. Today it's 91 shillings. So has he helped? No. Let me tell you. Let me shock you with the reason why, before I tell you, because we have dwelled on talking about the problem, I want to paint a picture of how Kenya will be without William. So, Jagero, hapa iko shida. Shida ni hii. For 10 years of President Uhuru, because some people who are broad-based
they like saying, to argue. I know what he's going to say. I'm going to write it down so that you understand.
From broad-based, keep on asking, why didn't you talk about Uhuru? Where were you time here, Uhuru? In 2014, I was in high school. In 2014, when President Uhuru became president, I didn't have the knowledge I have today.
I did not even have capacity to vote for him.
Yes, I couldn't even qualify to vote. So watu wanauliza, why did you talk? Why don't you talk? In July, was it in July in 2014? He sent the military to my party leader Jimmy Wanjigi and broke the doors. Why did he do that? Because party leader was talking about pilferage of funds in his government. He was. Do you remember when Raila was making a lot of noise about Wizi? Wizi was whose idea? It was about my party leader. So the biggest problem is when President Ruto came into power, what did he inherit? How did we come about? Uhuru miaka yake 10 alikopa 7.7 trillion. Miaka yake ngapi? 10. Parliament ili approve ngapi? 2 trillion. So where did he borrow 5 extra trillion without approval of government? That's one question. President Uhuru's regime inatuambia ilitumia pesa ngapi yetu kulipa deni? 5.6. So let's say ukweli alikopa 7 trillion, sindio? But how much money did Kenyans give to pay debt in his 10 years? 5.6 trillion. But bado akawacha deni ya 8 trillion. William Ruto akiingia akipiga kelele, hey, empty coffers. 8 trillion. Sindio? William Ruto so far ametuambia amelipa pesa ngapi? 4.6. So far pesa amelipa deni. So I am just doing simple maths. So for the past like 13 years, we have spent 10.2. Is it 10? 4.6 plus 5.6 is how much? Is it 10.2 trillion?
10.2.
On debt payment. For the last 13 years. But how much do we owe? Deni imebaki ngapi? 13 trillion. So, in the last 13 years, cumulatively what we have as debt is 13 plus 10.2, which is 23.2 trillion. In the last how many years? 13 years. And again, there is something we call debt of the book, securitization and private partnerships. Because when you are building Maure Road, sindio, we as Kenyans are financing 45% of the project. Where is the 55% coming from?
When you say that we are giving 45%, and then again we pay for it to use it.
Yes. So
why are we putting 45?
Because as a country we have to commit to it so that an investor injects the other one.
But then, do they share the profit?
So the investor will be taking all the profit until he recoups back the money.
The money. Does that look like a good deal to you? You look dumbstruck.
It is all concrete and mortar for us to look developed.
For how long?
As long as he needs to recoup
and as
the
long
money.
as they've
years.
negotiated with the president.
Yes. 15 years.
President?
Yes, 15 years. Nasikia Wajaluo na Waluo wanasema barabara inaenda kwetu, Molo ni kwetu. Molo ni wapi? Mimi natoka Bungoma. Hiyo barabara shosho yangu hatawaiona. But that's besides the point. So, let me tell you why we have debt of the budget. We have financed 45% of Maure Road. Sindio? 55% is money.
When after 15 years, the barabara becomes free.
Yes, according to what we have.
Does it?
Let me tell you, you never know.
Let me tell you. How about this one for your uncle Uhuru Kenyatta?
Can I tell you what I'm saying before you ask that question? 55% is money paid by the private investor. In other words, he is lending money to us. So, total debt of the book is 3% of our total national debt. What is 3% of 13 trillion? 4 trillion. So as we stand today as a country, we owe 17 trillion.
That's unbelievable. But this guy wanted to say something.
Yes.
No, the thing I wanted to contribute to this conversation is when you have contracts, you see contracts, one of the main ambits of a contract is the parties involved. And so, on one side there is an investor, and on the other side is Kenyans. But Kenyans are represented by the government in power. So, when you have a government in power that shrouds the content of your contract in mystery, what happens is that you are blindsided. That's why you hear those scary numbers from Joachim. And unfortunately for us, their main crux of their main issue with odious debt is something called a deed of non est factum. It is an agreement you did not consent to because it is fundamentally different from what you agreed to. So, for example, their main argument on odious debt is that this debt is an illegal debt. And I told you what happens to any contract based off illegality. It is null and void. That's why I'm telling you, even after 15 years, with the kind of trust deficit that we have with this government, we are not sure what are the caveats they have put in that contract because we don't have visibility on it. We don't know what they discuss.
Why are we not having visibility on it?
Because the people who are at the government, they have designed it as such. You see, when you're doing invitations for people who want to invest in your country, the ideal way to do it, because again, you are not there to satisfy your own interests, it's the interest of the people. You are supposed to call all these investors and see who has the best deal for Kenyans. And you as a representative of people, you're supposed to pick the one that is the least punitive to us. Because all these people are in the business of making money. But how it happens in Kenya, and you have had even investors going to other countries because of this, is because you will have somebody who has invested maybe at 45%, another one at 55%, another one at 60%. They will tell this person who has invested at 55%, we will pick you. But now you have to mark up your representation up to 69%, so that the difference becomes ours. Now you're dealing with a situation where they know Can you say a little bit of that again in English? Like what is going on? Let me tell you. Okay. Let me break it down in numbers that are simple. So you have 4 investors who want to invest in your local road. Where do you come from, Jagero?
Let's talk about Maurironi Summit.
No, let's talk about reduce it to for the people of the internet.
Road.
Yeah.
Let's say Papa Ndindi Road, a stretch of 2 kilometers.
Okay.
There are people who have bidded so that they can construct this for you, right? And then you have in typical just PPP fashion, right? So you have bidders, let's say 4 bidders. Somebody has told you, I can do this work in 10 million. My profit margin is X amount of money, and this is what I intend to make within 2 years. Another one comes and tell you we can do it for 22 million, and another one comes and tell you we can do it for 40 million. Instead of taking the one who has maybe a profit margin of 5% or 2%, who is at 10 million, the government goes and takes the guy who is exorbitantly charging you, I can do this for 40 million, the same stretch of road. For 40 million, my interest margin is 20%. They tell him, now you are the guy. We want you. So now your markup should go up to, we'll pay you 40, but we want you to charge 65. So Papa Ndindi Road will cost 65 million shillings to do that stretch instead of 10 that could have initially been helped to do. So now here you are paying 40 million to do the road, and someone else is pocketing 25 of what initially could have been. That is how deals work.
And this money is brought in pallets.
What do you mean pallets?
I mean,
imewekwa kwa suitcase.
Yeah, pallets, like pallets.
Yeah, hiyo ni old bwana.
People wanafanya aje?
My friend, they wire it to offshore accounts in places that do not have extradition laws.
Yeah.
So even if that 25 million is pocketed by somebody, they wire it to a country without extradition laws.
So you're talking about 25 million here, but we could be talking about 25 billion.
Yes. In this now you scale it up to according to what you think is happening in the country.
Countries fail not because of corruption, but by the level of corruption. There is a story I have given time without number. A story given by Baba Raila Odinga. I know you will frown when you hear Baba.
No. It's your time to speak.
Yes. The level of corruption hinders development.
True.
A story is told by Baba Raila Odinga in one of the devolution conferences when he talked about the Minister for Roads and Public Works in Nigeria and the other one of Roads and Public Works in Malaysia. So the Minister for Roads and Public Works in Nigeria went to Malaysia on a benchmarking trip. Upon reaching Malaysia, he was driven around Kuala Lumpur.
Kuala Lumpur.
A city with good roads, orderly traffic, good highways. In the evening, he was treated to dinner at the residence of the Malaysian minister. The Malaysian minister had a good bungalow, a good, nice swimming pool. So the Nigerian minister was like, hey, Mr. Minister, how do you manage this? So the Malaysian minister took him to the balcony and say, do you see that highway there? Say, yes, I can see. 10% here. Nilikula 10%. Nikajenga hii bungalow. That's why I have a swimming pool. Nilikula 10%. The Nigerian minister was okay. So it came to a time where now the Malaysian minister is now paying a
visit to Nigeria.
To Nigeria. So he lands in Lagos.
The
only quiet place is the airport, a little bit. But along the road, hooting, matatu, potholes.
Tuk-tuks everywhere.
Yes, the city is in chaos. So in the evening, he was treated to dinner at the residence of the Nigerian minister. He lived in a house that looked like a palace with a helipad, 2 helicopter helipads. With an Olympic-sized swimming pool. So the Malaysian minister was like, hey.
How do you manage
this? He was taken to the balcony. And the Nigerian minister asked him, do you see that highway there? The Malaysian minister, Malaysian minister could not see any highway. Then the Nigerian minister told him, 100% here. So there is corruption in 2 countries. But one is 10%, the other one is 100%.
Absolutely.
So nothing is working. Sometimes I try to be the devil's advocate and say, okay, you can eat. But how much are you eating? So in this country, corruption has gone to the level that nothing can happen. And if it happens, it's out of tears, sweat, and blood. We have to actually push this
radical change.
Radical. That's why I have told you, the president who will come after President Ruto will not have easy time in office.
True.
He's not coming to enjoy government. He's coming to fold his
and
sleeves
fix issues
and wear gumboots.
Let me, in the spirit of giving stories, Joaquin, let me give you
so
one.
That after that, we let's
go to Ndindi Nyoro, but let me give you this story. At some point in time, we were at a conference somewhere, and our principals were coming to see what we were up to. And so my principal walks in, and for what people may say about him, he understands that particular point that Joaquin talks about, because he told us, these people who have put William Ruto on his heels now in 2024 and in 2025, the Gen Z, were people who did not have votes when William Ruto was coming into power. Their first act of political consciousness was to resist William Ruto. They are all saying, one term, aende nyumbani, hatumtaki, Ruto must go. And we have seen how we saw protests that we have never seen. This is now Rigathi Gachagua telling us. We saw protests that we have never seen in this country. So can you imagine if they vote for us and we don't do what they ask us to do? What will they do to us? And he told us, you young people who are in our parties, you are the ones who will have jobs and will be representatives of your young people. So that if anything goes wrong in the government that is coming, they will come for you first before they get to us. So trust me, Jagero, I am not here to pontificate and poke a needle in William Ruto's eye so that I can go into government and be like William Ruto. I have seen what people, the wrath of the Kenyan people can be when they are angry at their administration. I do not want to be a casualty and a statistic in that. So I know, even as you have said, the government that is coming, because I will be part of that government, when it comes, there will be no time to joke. If I am given even a small role to make sure that something is going right, is to make sure that this blade of grass is every day it turns right. I must make sure that it turns right. If it goes left, I will be the first casualty of that mistake.
Yeah. Let's say our government
Let's play something else.
creates a million jobs.
I want to play Ndindi Nyoro apologizing. The first two that we played before. So that we go to Ndindi Nyoro. This guy is going to... people are waiting for Ndindi Nyoro because you're the one who actually went viral on Ndindi Nyoro's name. And I want to ask you that question. Then I can go to the... I can go to... That is the one where he's apologizing. You have it?
Kuna mtu anaitwa Jack Karabon.
Cost them last week during the finance bill vote on Thursday of last week. It is not the way I do things. Nilikosea hapo. It was not abdicating the duty. I've been trying to do as much as possible when it comes to governance in this country, and also especially anything to do with public finances. So whatever happened, I apologize to Kenyans, and we have learned from it to do better and to be better representatives of the people. And if you allow me, because I have been able to look at the feedback from Kenyans, and I felt it is very critical and important that we address this matter the way it is. Tuna mikwaruzano, but generally we were one team. So the issue of impeachment came, and it ran very fast. Ikaenda kwa kasi. Na mimi nikaangalia hilo jambo kama binadamu, nikaliangalia kama Mkristo, nikaliangalia kama mtu, even before being a politician. Na mimi nikaona sitashiriki. And I went to the people who are promoting it. And I told them, my conscience is not here. Na mimi sitashiriki katika hii impeachment. Na nikawaambia that whatever cost that I need to pay, I will not blame anyone. And maybe that is the reason why.
Mr. Joaquim, what exactly is going on with Ndindi Nyoro? You said on social media, and it went pretty viral pretty fast, that if you are a sheep among us, if you are a sheep that, if you're a dog that is pretending to be a sheep, then one day you will bark by mistake. I mean, I don't understand, but Ndindi Nyoro is saying, I want to apologize to Kenyans for the disappointment I caused them last week during the finance bill vote. No amount of explanation, even the one I am giving, should absolve me from the blame. What exactly is going on? Because a lot of people are saying that Ndindi Nyoro, one, is a mole. They're saying that Ndindi Nyoro has never been honest with Kenyans. So what exactly, what do you mean he packed?
Ndindi Nyoro is giving us a very good scenario where you meet someone in the act and they tell you it's not what you think.
Is that what you think?
Yes. So he's actually come with the pressure to tell us, Kenyans, it's not what you're thinking. But Kenyans can see through what you're saying. He started by saying it's not about abdication of duty. That is what it is. He's telling us that it is not what it is. That I have tried to work for this country about governance. The workstation of a member of parliament is the floor of the house, not media interviews and press conferences. I likened him to a brilliant student who keeps on raising the hand and answer questions in class, but does not show up the day of the exam. So what's your brilliance for? You had to sit for this paper and show us you are actually brilliant. Politics is about taking sides. Because look at Kimani Ichung'wah. I don't like Kimani Ichung'wah. But he's brave enough to stand for his nonsense. And say, I am brave enough to say I am... He says the nonsense he says very bravely. So that's a better man than a person who is a serial fence-sitter. You can't go to war with such a person who along the way will tell you, I'm still thinking. Give me some time. And the enemy is approaching. You need somebody who can stand.
He's not cocking his guns.
He's not.
He's sleeping.
So the reason why I said that a dog that pretends to be a sheep will one day bark by mistake is because a dog is not a sheep. Pretense. It will forget what of the pretense and be itself. One instance, and everybody will know that this is not a sheep. It has been on several instances where Rigathi Gachagua does not show up, and Ndindi Nyoro does not show up to actually show that he stands for something. The only day he showed up and voted for the finance bill is in 2024. Because he was the one who had submitted the estimates. So he had to stand by what he had created. In 2025, mysteriously, he didn't show up. The day of impeachment of Gachagua,
he also did not show
up. He was not there. So he said things happened so fast. So he's telling us he was not fast enough to catch up with the things that happened around impeachment of Gachagua. No, my friend. Politics is like war. You need soldiers. He's not. Please be on one side there where we can see. He's telling us that we are on one side. Which side? That I can't talk about these things I'm talking about if I'm still in government. No. The action that speaks louder than press conferences is the decision you make on the floor of the House. 40 members of parliament showed up and said no to the finance bill, categorically. Some of them, we don't know them, but we know they are somewhere with a stand. Where you have been all over.
Telling us all the countries
telling
going
us all
badly.
the things. Because even when he was talking about Safaricom, for instance, I was on this podcast and I said, the approach he was talking about corruption is not what we were supposed to talk about. He was talking about value of the shares. We were talking about not selling Safaricom. Don't talk about value.
Don't tell us about economics when we are hungry.
Yes. That's why it's easy for government to shut him up because of the approach he takes. We were saying no. Shares of Safaricom should not be sold. Yeah, alikuwa anasema share value. Then he came and talked about London Stock Exchange. Once you tell Kenyans London Stock Exchange, you've lost them. Bwana, we are trying to eat today. Wewe unatuambia London Stock Exchange.
But he says something that is very interesting. He maintained that he attended every day of the parliamentary debates on both budget. And this is a question to you, Mr. Wesley. Estimates and the finance bill, including the crucial second reading, where he opposed several provisions he believed were being forced through Parliament. According to Mr. Nyoro, the decisive vote came after the conclusion of the second reading debate on Wednesday, when the Speaker proposed that the bill be passed by acclamation before a section of MPs demanded a division vote. The lawmaker pointed out that only 27 members of parliament were present in the chamber at the time, below the constitutional threshold required for a recorded division. And therefore, he says, Eppen quote, as you know, if you are not 50 members and above, then you are not called for division. Division is what gives us an opportunity to vote individually, end of quote. Okay, so despite offering the explanation, Mr. Nyoro acknowledged that he should have remained in the House until the process had been completed. Open quote, over the next 3 or 4 weeks, I will give you my position. Then all of us as Kenyans can decide together what direction we should take. So this explanation, I don't understand the legalese behind it. Do you understand what he's talking about?
Let me tell you, don't even focus on the legalese, because it is inconsequential. all that is what you call story ajaba. I can tell you for sure that it is rather to have an enemy you can see than an ally you cannot trust. And that is Ndindi Nyoro for you. Because, in my considered opinion, I think Ndindi Nyoro is stuck with the curse of an ideal politician. A politician who is stuck within idealism. There is no question that Ndindi Nyoro is a smart politician. But unfortunately, smarts are not the only thing that make you a politician in Kenya. If this discussion that he was telling us about the stock exchange was being had in Wall Street, he would have excelled very well. Because at the end of the day, the Kenyan does not want to understand about those complex numbers you are talking about. You have been telling us that the government and the country is not going in the right direction, but you're still not taking a political side. What are you waiting for? And that is the problem, because you see, there are three main roles of a legislator, an MP. The first is representation, which is a continuous situation. You exist courtesy of the power of the vote. That is who you are as an MP. It is continuous and it never ceases. That is why unasikianga MPs wakikampaign wanasema mimi hata ukinipigia saa 7 ya usiku itabidi nichukue hiyo simu kwa sababu they know they are a representative. The second one is oversight, which is periodical. Because, like for example, now we are in an oversight situation where there are budget estimates you need to debate. It's a periodical process. And then finally, there is the last one of legislation, which is on call. When the need arises, you give legislation towards that need. And Ndindi Nyoro failed on his core mandate of representation. And you see, 1 time is bad luck. 2 times is a coincidence. 3 times, that is what you call a pattern. So you cannot tell me that he was absent in the finance bill, in the impeachment, and then he tells us that he was present for all the debates for the second reading.
But somehow
and then you somehow, at the end, do not show up. That to me tells me that is a person who does not take his role seriously. And it is because he does not want to take political responsibility. Even Irungu Kang'ata, who has also been wishy-washy about his stand, and even right now he has 2 feet in different camps. He has told Ndindi Nyoro that you need to take a stand. Irungu Kang'ata is a case of the pot calling the kettle black, because right now
mpaka mwizi akwambia hapana.
Bwana umezidi.
Hatuibangi hivyo.
Wewe bwana umezidi. Unaona wezi saiwa. Even in the wild, animals do not eat young. Yes. They let them grow.
Yes.
Yeah. So now Ndindi Nyoro is here telling us, and a particular statement that he said caught my attention. And I was like, before he gave that press conference, I went on Facebook and I wrote another story. I think you know the song by, I think it's Burna Boy, that goes another story. That is what I was quoting, because I was sure what he's going to say will not take a position. He's just going to issue a press conference, give a story, and not take a position. Let me tell you why this is important.
Yeah.
Because at the end of that press conference, he talked about, I have taken time, and I will still take time. So you called a press conference to tell us that you are taking time, and you need more time to take to make a decision. For what?
It's like at some point, there is a presidential candidate who used to call press conferences to announce that he will be making an announcement next week. So he calls a press conference and say, I want to tell Kenyans that I'll be making an announcement
next week. What are you doing? So even when the press conference ended, people were left wondering what was the need of that press conference. Why could you? He said he needed about 3 to 4 weeks to make his political mind, right?
Let me tell you
about what?
Of which side he's going to go.
Yeah, so it's not about the issue of the country.
He's considering
thinking, where do I go?
And this is why I'm telling you he's stuck in ideal politics, because he thinks his smarts will buy him time.
His what?
His smarts.
Okay.
His intellect, his brain, his articulation will buy him time in the world of political culture. It will not, because now people are tired. They are saying, okay, the first few times when you are very eloquent and you are giving us issues about numbers, we were very concerned and we agreed with you. But now it has gotten to a time where all these numbers are leading us to a point where you have been criticizing this government. You have consistently, even in your own constituency, said that this government is not running the country well. well, but now you have refused to take a stand against that very government.
But sometimes I sympathize with him. He is in a very bad place to be, because there's a point. The last day he showed up in Parliament. Was it last or second last? And he was having an altercation with Kimani Ichung'wah. He was talking about debts that are illegal. So Kimani Ichung'wah asks him, when you say that in 2023 we had bad debts, who submitted the estimates for Parliament to approve? Isn't it you as the chairman of the Budget and Appropriation Committee? He didn't respond to that. He didn't. So sometimes what we do catches up with us. And this government, the things they have done ever since 2013, they have caught up with them, and now they are neck deep into the waters. They are gasping for air. I saw anaitwa nani? Duale, who was a majority leader for 8 years in Uhuru's government, saying that, it is only debts in Uhuru's government that cannot be accounted for.
The leader of government business.
That William Ruto's government can be accounted for. Okay, let us assume it's true. Okay, sawa. We can account for William Ruto. But wewe Duale, so ulikuwa majority leader. So even the estimates from the budget committee are tabled by who? Majority leader in Parliament. So if we have illegal debts, who
are we supposed to ask?
Who are we supposed to ask? If not you, Duale. So these people are finding themselves in a way that when they say about something bad, they remember they did it at some point or helped create that problem.
There is something that Ndindi Nyoro is saying here that's very interesting. There is no way I can say the things I have been saying if I was still in government, to put it very plainly, especially in matters concerning the economy and how it is being managed. You cannot make those arguments while supporting the government. We no longer support the government of the day and the way it's running the economy. There are only two sides in Kenya today, the government and the opposition. I have made it clear which side I am not on, and you know for sure that I'm not in government. As I have told you before I left the government, it is obvious that I left the government. I keep answering this question, not because Kenyans are asking it, but because politicians keep provoking me to defend my position.
So he's saying where he is not, but he's not telling you where he is.
Let me tell you.
Okay,
let me tell you.
But you said I am not in government.
Yes, that's very nice. Joachim, uko wapi? Si yuko nyumbani.
See?
Si yuko nyumbani.
Okay, you've told us where you are not. But where are you? Nimekwambia, I'm not at home. So, not everyone who is not in government is in opposition. Is it?
So where else?
They are still dilly-dallying.
Waiting
if you left and you've not gone anywhere, you are most likely to go back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me tell you, the way I see it, and usually, you need to look at things a bit retrospectively to understand what is going on right now.
Okay.
Remember this whole same government of William Ruto? The papers have consistently described Ndindi Nyoro as Ruto's blue-eyed boy.
Why?
At some point.
Why?
Not now.
Or before?
Retrospectively.
Okay.
And at that time, there was a jostle because William Ruto knows how to play those cards. He likes to pit two people against each other and watch what happens. But at that time, the person he was being pitted against was now the former deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua. And it was causing a lot of problems and a lot of tensions between them because Ndindi was being propped up. I remember the first time that they talked about a Ndindi presidency, it was William Kamket who talked about it. He had gone for a fundraiser somewhere in Baringo and he talked about a Ndindi presidency. Whereas there is a technical second in command that Ndindi is looking to unseat. And unfortunately, there is a proverb that goes, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. This was a setup from which put Ndindi Nyoro in this exact position. Because I want you to think about what is going on right now. You keep saying that Ndindi Nyoro is saying the side he is not. What could be simpler than to say the side that you are?
Do you want him
You
to
co-
say? Do you want him to say that?
Let
he's
him
in
declare.
DCP?
We're not even.
Do you
We're not
want
even.
him to say that he's in Labour
No.
Orange? Where do you want him to go?
He has said there are only two sides to
Okay.
this coin. There is the government side and the opposition side. I have made it clear the side that I am not. What could be easier than to say, I am in opposition and I want this government to go home? It is because he knows now that if he declares, now that he has declared that he is not in government, if he declares that he's in opposition, he's not going to be the figurehead for any formation within the opposition. That is the biggest problem.
He's not going to be a figurehead.
A figurehead, the leader of that movement. You see, when you're playing this neutral politics, the attention is on you. Like now today, the focus was on what he's going to say on the press conference. He said nothing, but the focus was there. If he goes to a formation within the opposition, whether it is Linda, whether it is DCP, he automatically loses that attention. And he had gotten to a point, in my considered opinion, that he was used to having this attention on him. So now he's facing a consequence of now understanding that he's going to be a team player when he could have been a team captain.
I think the biggest tragedy is such things make us take a lot of time to discuss things that we shouldn't. Instead of us talking about what really is important. Because huyu ndugu amekuja ameongea mambo ambayo hakuna. Have you ever seen anybody
said he said something but said nothing at the same time?
Amesema mambo mingi, but you're wondering to really find out what did he really say.
Nini?
You are like, what?
Amesema
nini? Nimewatch lakini sijui hata amesema nini.
Because people were really shouting for him on the comments while he was busy reading, and they were asking him, what are you saying?
You must be a mole. That was the biggest. If you looked at the comment section of most videos, that he was the streaming. It was mole.
Is better.
Yes.
You'd
rather an enemy you know than an ally you cannot trust. So you're telling me you're not in government, but you're not in opposition.
But tell me, Mr. Wesley, what is, in your estimation, in your analysis, what is going on with Ndindi Nyoro? What does he want? He has a deal. Do you have a feeling?
Let me answer you clearly.
Okay.
He does not want to acknowledge that the direction of the mountain right now is with Rigathi Gachagua. That is the biggest problem. And so, by acknowledging that, it means he will have to play second fiddle to Rigathi Gachagua. And that is the biggest crux of the problem with a lot of mountain leaders, starting from the Kimani Ichung'was, starting from the Mwangi Kionjoris of this world, that Rigathi Gachagua was just a guy who was a first-term MP. He became deputy president and technically the second in command. Right now, he has the heart of the mountain with him. They do not want to play second fiddle. In fact, when you hear them, when they are campaigning out there, that is what they are talking about. Some of us have been here. We are more senior. You hear Kimani Ichung'wa just thumping and saying, I am an MP, I'm going to be a 4-term MP. I know government than Rigathi Gachagua can never know government. So that is their problem. And I believe squarely that is Ndindi Nyoro's problem. That he does not want to admit.
But Ndindi Nyoro is pretty young.
You see,
Ndindi Nyoro is pretty young.
Which means there is no loss for him. He could just play second fiddle and wait for his turn.
I do not want to look at it that way.
Okay.
Because we will be reducing the magnitude of this issue. This issue does not make it a one region issue.
But we can actually make it a one region issue.
No.
I actually think
the
people
implication,
they want to be ready for calls. If you can call us through the normal phone line, that would be amazing.
The implication of Ndindi Nyoro's actions are far bigger than just the mountain. Because when we say that we are voting for the finance bill, it's about a whole country. The decision you make there affects everyone, irregardless.
Because, and I wanna stop you there and ask Wesley, because Ndindi Nyoro could as well vote no for the finance bill and still have his squabbles with Mount Kenya.
Yes.
Right?
True.
And let me tell you, to be the one fighting more than Gachagua.
And that's what I'm telling you. I do agree with you that it is not purely a Mount Kenya issue. Especially the fact that he failed on his representative duties. but his biggest political consequence will come from his backyard. Let me tell you, if you want to do simple math, Kiharu constituency, where he is very popular, Kiharu, I think, has 6 wards, and I want the comment section to correct me. Go check how many of those, Jagero, you're good at this, check how many of those wards are elected UDA. And right now, go check whether all 35 MCAs, a majority of them, are not with the Wamunyoro constituency.
Are not?
Are with the Wamunyoro constituency. Go check how many of them, out of the 35 Muranga MCAs, are not with DCP. And that will tell you exactly why I am taking this to a regional, the consequent conversation. It's because he understands the first point of heat is coming from his own backyard.
And that is why I have I sort of differ with Mr. Joachim, because for me it looks like, but where I am stuck at is that I believe that he could still have his little bickering and squabbling at the mount, but at the national level he could actually. So the
just
question
take aside,
because if that's
is he still a friend of the government?
If that's the scenario, then is it he making it worse for himself?
Yes.
True.
So if he's keen on not playing second fiddle, then you should be more aggressive in doing the things your opponent is doing.
Now you have come exactly where I wanted you to come.
Yeah.
Because in that same line of breath, and I'm sorry I cut you short, Joachim.
Cut him.
Because you are right.
Yes.
You're absolutely right. He could decide to take this fight. And he has consistently tried to point out how the government is failing from his own direct conversation. But unfortunately, because of his indecisiveness before, the conversations around where he comes from has already progressed to a point where there is a general direction already in the mountain. So now even if he comes and does not want to play second fiddle to Rigathi Gachagua, he is playing catch up. To remove the heart of the mountain from what it has already decided is like trying to shake a Mogumo tree.
But also
you will end up shaking your own buttocks.
Also, Ndindi Nyoro, if I am with Ndindi Nyoro, I am wondering, how do I play second fiddle to an impeached man? He can't even be a party leader.
You see, unfortunately, you are looking at things from one perspective.
Okay.
Right? So as we speak, was he impeached? Absolutely. But is the mountain with him? Yes. So political expedience, there's something called functional leadership, Jagero. Functional leadership does not require you to have a title.
Okay.
You can lead from function.
Yeah.
Right now, Rigathi Gachagua is a functional leader. So yes, you can play second fiddle to a man who is a functional leader because the political tide right now, Jagero. Do you
consider yourself an honest man, a bold man, Mr.
Absolutely.
So then tell me, has he surpassed Uhuru Kenyatta?
What do you mean surpassed?
Well, he used to be the kingpin, Uhuru Kenyatta. Yes.
Right now, the kingpin is Rigathi Gachagua. You see, Uhuru Kenyatta.
Uhuru is playing second fiddle.
Let me tell you, Uhuru Kenyatta has reached the apex of what you can achieve as a politician.
And he's playing.
He is a president right now.
Yeah.
He has been president. He's a retired president. He can have his own influence as a leader, Uhuru Kenyatta.
Yeah.
But the person right now, in the middle of the eye of the storm, is Rigathi Gachagua. And that is the person who will guide the mountain. And whoever else is around it can add on to that conversation or try to take away from that conversation. And that is why...
I think that Uhuru Kenyatta has been in the shoe of Ndindi Nyoro. What is going on with him?
And you see, when Ndindi Nyoro, when Uhuru was in that shoe, he was told, support Kibaki, your time will come.
Yes.
Did his time not come?
It did.
And you see, unfortunately, hold up. Let me tell you, the first time when he ran, he refused because he was a Moi project. Yes, he was a Moi project. And then later he was told, if you want to lead this side, that is the man in charge now. This is not, I'm not drawing this from air. And let me tell you,
Kibaki would later support him fully.
Yes, and unfortunately, what people refuse to accept, more than any other leader, Rigathi is not selfish with mentoring younger leaders.
Okay.
because he understands he's also not a permanent fixture in this country. Look at the leaders under him right now. There is John Medhu, my SG designate. There is Senator Karongo Wadhangwa. There are people who are there, and that has been the curse of the mountain, that even when Uhuru Kenyatta left, he did not allow people to be mentored around
on
him.
the line, but he will wait.
Hello?
Tell him to wait.
So my point here
we will
is,
get back to you.
so my point here is, if you've directed me to the direction that Ndindi Nyoro has been, Uhuru Kenyatta has been in the place of Ndindi Nyoro, where he had to play second fiddle to a man who was at the moment the leader of that particular constituency, then Ndindi Nyoro should learn from history and understand that it takes nothing away from him to accept that the leader right now of the mountain, whatever title you want to give him, is Rigathi Gachagua, and he will give directions. As soon as he has given directions, his time will come. Even me, I have to accept and align, because that is the man giving direction. When I want to become a leader in future, I will also have my turn to fight for space. Yeah.
Which I completely agree with. Hello. How are you?
Hello. I'm good, Jagero. Hello.
Yes. Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling us from, sir?
Good evening, Jagero. This is Joga from Nairobi.
Okay.
I just want to chip in very fast.
Yes.
About the situation that you're talking about in Ndindi Nyoro, I want to disagree with the DCP man that the reason why Ndindi Nyoro is a bit confused is because he doesn't want to play second fiddle.
Okay.
I think Ndindi Nyoro is suffering the same disease Sifuna is suffering from, of being indecisive.
Okay.
Especially when you've gotten the flow and people are chanting your name and you do not want to make the right decision at the right time. There was a time that people were talking about Ndindi Babu, people were talking about Ndindi. There was some time they were giving him kind of placing him at the national leadership. And I felt like that was the best time that you would have gotten out as the true opposition leader. And looking at the brains, something I think he has more than Gachagua, I think he would have become more suited to lead the people of Mount Kenya region and even part and parcel of the opposition. The DCP man, I think, is becoming... Now, if you look at the scenarios whereby Mwai Kibaki was in leadership and Uhuru Kenyatta was being told, it was just Uhuru Kenyatta that was being told to be in line so that at least he lets Kibaki finish and then... But now, with Rigathi, we have like 4, 5, 6 politicians being told. Why do they have to be told to align behind an individual? I think with the style of leadership an individual sometimes can endear you to other people and make them fall on your feet without even asking. So on the case of Ndindi Nyoro, it is just a case scenario of confusion, and probably Apo Nyoma probably made the deal with the devil and probably is getting it hard to get out of that particular access.
Do you think the president has something on him?
Looking at there is something that the president has been very successful in doing, is smearing these particular politicians. Okay. And remember, Ndindi was holding some important dockets within parliament. And these dockets were very responsible in terms of budget allocation, in terms of the finance bill that we had, the 2 finance bill, the last one in 2024 that made the Gen Zs. And I think it was greatly part and parcel of that particular spoil. And the fact that he is doing well business-wise in an economy that things are not going right can tell you that probably he's got some godfather somewhere, and probably you do not want to anger that particular godfather, apart from being confused and everything. So it is just a case scenario that when you do not make the right decision at the right time, sometimes it backfires. The same with Sifuna. If he does not take this opportunity, he keeps on following ODM over and over, probably things might not go well for him. I would love to say one thing though. A politician will be loud because of the consistency, however long it takes. Look at the case of Jimmy Wanjigi. people were never listening to Jimmy Wanjigi. But as you see him moving on and on, speaking the same thing with the consistency, you can be able to understand that this is a leader that means well for the country. Thank you. Say hi to Joaquin.
All right, thank you very much. All right, so that is what is up. They are saying that somebody has got something on him, Mr. Joachim. You agree?
Something on who?
On Ndindi Nyoro is doing business. Wesley, I think you heard that.
Yeah, I did.
You know, he is Yasa. The front page is really not the story.
Hello?
In most cases.
Yes. Good evening. What is your name?
Hello,
Where are you
sir.
calling us from?
Today, my name is John. I'm calling from London. Now,
Okay.
today, Jagero, you seem to be very bored, very disinterested.
I'm not at all.
Are you okay?
You see, now the problem is that whenever I bring people from the opposition, I am being told that I am bored. But when I bring also government people, they are telling me that Odhiambo has finally had my hand and is crossing the road with me to State House. What can I do? What do you guys want me to do? I am creating a platform for people to come. I mean, I am a nylot. I would not be next to a decent
For me, I do not think you belong to any side.
All right, go ahead.
You know, Mr. Jagero, I don't believe you. I don't think you belong to any side. I think you're impartial.
Yeah.
And it's only that today you seem a little bit down. I will buy you coffee. Actually, remind me.
Please
This is a test.
I'll buy you. I'm very broke, bro. I mean,
I will. I promise you. I take my word. I will do that.
Okay, thank you.
Next time I want to see you back to normal. Now, okay. Now, here is the meat of the issue.
Okay.
Simiu, you guys are big liars, and I don't like the fact that these guys they've got very close proximity to power. His party is a lying party. One lying party of Kenya. Sifuna, East Afina ikona shimo. And when we start crossing that sea or the ocean, tutazama. Now, let me tell you something. These guys are not telling us. They're saying we're not going to pay debt. No, we don't have the time to start fighting with international parastatals and organizations.
Okay.
What we want is them to tell us, Mr. Uhuru Kenyatta, you stole some money. Your government stole from us. Mr. William Ruto, your government has stolen from us. You two individuals, once we get power, we are jailing you. These guys will never say that. Show me anywhere Jimmy Wanjigi has said, if you vote me as president, I'm giving an ultimatum of 10 days. Either William and Uhuru Kenyatta return the money, or we jail them. None of them is saying so.
Okay.
Audience debt, we won't pay audience debt. Jail them.
All right, thank you, brother.
No, according to him, what is odious debt?
What?
No, him.
But you have had him.
No. He has to tell us because it seems he knows better than us.
Yeah, go ahead. You have got a fiery question from the man.
What is odious debt, ndugu yangu? Ndio tuelewe hii maneno.
Odious debt is money that was borrowed, but not in the interest of the country that has borrowed the money. It goes to people's pockets. But you guys are not coming out to say what you'll do to those
question.
people. You don't say nothing.
Can we say that debt that is on our budget is odious?
Yes, it is.
So we can have debt on our budget that is odious.
No. If the debt was not, if the borrowing was not passed by the parliament, then it's an odious debt because it's not debt that came to the people.
So if parliament did not pass it, then do we have it as debt?
We could have it as debt because
what binds us
we elect people to represent us.
No, what binds us to?
I'm waiting to see if they'll respond.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Jagero, I was not done with Shimei. Apparently, I heard what he was trying to say.
Yeah, but you know that you're the one who switched off the internet.
I didn't.
So I was asking you a question.
Yes.
So when we say that debt is not approved by parliament, can we say that as a country we have it as debt?
No. If it was not approved, it's not a debt to the country.
Then are you then saying that we continue paying what we don't owe?
We want what you're going to do to those who use their seats in government to steal from us. What are you going to do? Example, when we were voting for Brexit, it was a very simple question: do we stay or we leave?
So when
it was not about, oh, we're going to correct this. It's a straightforward question. Unfortunately, and I'll say this, unfortunately, I've been watching closely a lot of leaders in Kenya and those who aspire to be leaders.
So let me ask you
there
first
is a lot of
before you
absolutism and pontification.
No, let me ask you first. When you say we are a lying party, what did we lie about?
So what is going to happen is, right now you're trying to sell to us something that doesn't exist.
No. When we say that we will not pay illegal debt, is that a lie?
I don't think you will do so. I can give you a guarantee. You won't do it.
It's about what you are thinking, it's not what we are saying.
Because you know what?
Yes.
Let me tell you something. When you go to the market,
yes.
Do you test all the mangoes you buy?
No, how is that relevant with what we are talking about?
I've just asked you a question, Simiyu. You just respond to the question.
Yeah, but Simiyu, you are disturbing this gentleman with the question. First of all,
look,
I want him to live.
If you go to a supermarket,
I want him to live here better than he came.
Okay.
So I am just
no. Look, if you go to a supermarket, you go and look at the mangoes, and one mango will be very attractive because it looks good. It doesn't look rotten. You buy it believing that it's good. You don't taste it. All right? Now, I'm looking at the government and people who have worked with government before. Never mind that your leader has had a problem with some other issues before. Now, we are looking at Angloism. And look, so we have to look at things in general and look at these other individuals that are trying to vie for seats in that country. And we have to have a very sober conversation about where we're going to go to.
Yeah,
if our country is to develop and become a better country.
I think before we go to the next caller, are you a supporter of this government?
Myself?
Yes.
Never.
Okay.
Never.
Okay.
That's a government being led by a thief for the thief.
Now that you are not interested in Safina Party, are you interested in Wamunyoro and his friends?
No, Wamunyoro has had a case, a corruption case. He is one of those people that can never be in that seat of power.
Are you in San Francisco, New York?
No, he's in London.
Listen,
I understand your thinking. I forgive you.
Jagero, I'll be very honest with you. Jagero, just 1 minute, just one word. Mr. Jagero, Mr. Jagero, just one second.
Okay.
Just 1 second before I leave.
Okay.
This is about to anyone who bothers to listen.
Okay.
If in the next 30 years, we want to become a country that is respected, where we don't have to come abroad to come and earn a living. We can live in our country and earn in our country and enjoy everything that we enjoy here in our country.
And that's what
we must change our thinking.
Go out just a minute.
Yes, we must change our thinking as a people.
Okay.
Not individualism.
We need a Safina government. Yes, and we have said what's Safina.
Yeah, it's as simple as that.
You and your money, you're just here in Kwacha House. When are you doing a town hall in London?
A town hall in London will come.
They should come over.
Don't you think
he will be the one hosting us.
In London?
Sorry?
Will you host us when we come to speak to Kenyans in London?
Take my number. I will arrange people to come. I'll pick you myself. I'll come and pick you up from the airport. You will sleep in my house, Mr. Mir, if you come here.
Thank you.
Now we are talking.
I think that is
better host in London.
Wacha ufike huko
uone giza. Ujui dust is constant.
But we are always prepared. So akizima ataona tu tuko na ingine. But again,
he sounds like a good guy.
He's a good guy. He just need to understand. But again, you see, people need to understand. We are not saying we will default. We are saying that there are some debts that we don't even have them, but money keeps on going out in the name of paying. So that's what we are putting a stop. You will realize there will be no lender who will come and claim that they lent us money because they don't have anything to show that they lent us anything. So as Jagero, when he comes and tells me I owe him 200, people will be like, where did you give it from? Any paper? Did you send it? Because if we did not have it in Parliament, then how is it a debt? Ama kuna sheria mahali nasema there is somehow you can borrow without following Parliament vote head.
Yeah, and you see, as Joachim, you've gotten a chance to respond to your caller. Mine told me that he disagrees with me that Ndindi Nyoro's issue is indecisiveness rather than a mountain issue. Then proceeds to say that if Ndindi Nyoro made his decisions, he would be better suited to lead the mountain. And he agreed with me by making his point by saying, because my initial point was the only reason that Ndindi Nyoro is indecisive is ties back to his own backyard politics.
My question is, these numbers politics, because we have talked about numbers and say for us to defeat Ruto we need unity, right? So that numbers of Mount Kenya combines with numbers of Western Kenya, combines with numbers of Ukambani, then we send Ruto home. It's a sure bet that it will work. My question is now, after we have done that, mimi staki Wakenya wananipigia kelele kwa jamu. Mimi nataka nikipita kwa jamu hivi nafikisha kio kusalimia Wakenya, they are going about their business. Unaona? Sitaki waseme ndio huyu anakula pesa yetu. Hapana. Ati Joachim sasa tuko kwa serikali alafu ninapigiwa kelele. Alinakuja kwa hii podcast nasoma comment ni very negative. Sitaki. I want to, when I come here, Kenyans are saying, our kids are learning for free.
Do you think this is can happen as soon as you're saying?
We have
I have a feeling that you are just trying to scam Kenyans. Not true.
You see, the issue is
you and Jeff.
No, me and Jeff are not on the same. We are not on the same. We are not saying there is a point of departure. We agree up to some point. Here, we want that we are saying, we agree, Ruto has to go. It's good for the country and everyone. What we have not really homogenized and concretized our minds on is what we do afterwards.
But have you sat down? Have you sat down in a conclave?
There is a problem that is even preventing us from sitting down. No, let me tell you. The other day, I was watching an interview, and I saw there is a news reporter who asked Gachagua, we have a problem of debts. What do you say about it? He said, we took them, we have to pay. So already there is a difference in our thinking. For him, he will pay. For us,
but you just said that.
But you just said you're not going to default.
Huh? You just said you're not going to default.
So how is that same as what Gachagua is saying?
He's also saying what we took will pay. What
pay.
we didn't
So
take,
no,
obviously intimates we won't
take. That's not what he said. For us, we are saying we will audit it before we keep on paying.
You see, now we are agreeing that we are going to Mombasa. You are just saying you want to use one route, and I want to use the other route. And you see,
when I ask you a question on interview, you want to be CEO of political headache.
Yeah.
As I say, political headache owes banks money.
Okay.
But this money is not reflected in the books of political headache. You as Jagero who wants to be the CEO, what do you say about it? Then you say, as CEO, we have to pay. You understand? Then I come and I am facing the same interviewer and I say, in that case, we will have to audit our books, establish what we need to pay, And what we don't need?
Is
that the same?
I have a feeling
Yes.
that within DCP, some of these issues have not been crystallized and they have not come up in their meetings and they have not decided exactly, because I feel like most of these issues that are being discussed about the country, DCP is not discussing them. And I want Jeff to prove me wrong. Jeff, are you guys really sitting down and discussing some of these issues and how you are going to approach them? Ama mtachukua kwanza alafu mwanze.
Let me tell you. You see, that is a very dangerous assumption to make.
Okay.
Because you are making an assumption from a point of lack of knowledge.
Okay.
And the good thing about lack of knowledge, it is cured with knowledge.
All right.
But you have to understand the risk we face as opposition. And you understand the man we are dealing with in William Ruto. You see, William Ruto conveniently ran away from this conversation in the past by going to the counties and doing listening tours. And I keep on telling you, yes, before he became president, right? So he went to all 47 counties and he sat down with people and regurgitated what their problems were. You understand? So by virtue of that, we know exactly who we are dealing with. Even how William Ruto approaches any election, it is, if what he's doing right now is not new, saying you guys need to lazima mtupatie candidate, otherwise me nitawashinda asubuhi. This is not new. He did that with NASA. Was it NASA or CORD? When they had that conclave for, I think, 4 days. That one. He did the same thing by trying to box the opposition then, or their competitors, to give him an answer. Even now, a lot of things that I've said, Jagero, again, you have decided you don't want to hear what I'm saying. I've told you, for example, one of the things that we focus on is, I've mentioned just in passing, the issue of the payslip. There's another issue of value addition that I cannot disclose.
Why don't you disclose?
Because some of this, let me tell you, some of these things, you see, like you, for example, odious debt was not a Safina thing. Odious debt was a Jimmy Wanjigi thing that he carried into Safina, that has now become part of the principles, right? As soon as all our collation is done, we will do the exact same thing you've done. You just have to give us space to collate our issues similar to what you did. Because Jimmy Wanjigi did not start talking about this thing in 2025. Yes, he has been talking about odious debt for the longest time. And this is courtesy of his position where he has been. As a businessman, he has seen the number of debts we rake in. And this is not healthy for the country. That's him, right? Also, us, we're also doing a clinical analysis of what some of these problems solution require. And I've said two things. One is payslip. That will involve, again, dignifying the payslip and also considering taxation and expanding the tax base on workers. Because any person who is talking about that payslip without talking about the fact that salaries have not increased for the last 15 years, the cost of living has consistently gone up, but that gap is not being bridged. Is not a serious candidate. But none of that you don't know, because
none of that will happen if we pay the debt.
Stop taking me back to odious debt. I am trying to. Jagero has asked me a direct question.
We have just said the debt is no longer one of the problems. It is a problem that affects every other thing.
But they can still deal with the taxation.
Yeah, two things can exist at a time.
And they will also deal with the other one.
Yeah.
How do you deal with taxation?
No, but they have said
no. For example, he can give me an example of one taxation.
No, I'm talking
let's
about.
Say pay is that 5%.
No, you're being clever.
You are playing down.
No, he's being clever.
I'm not playing down.
Let me tell you what Joachim is doing.
Okay.
He wants to say that every problem we are going to deal with is housed under the fact that there is odious debt.
Yes. Yeah.
That is what he wants to say. That is his narrative. It's good for him to push.
It's
no. It might be truth, but again, it is beneficial to you to prove.
Narratives
no, it's true, Bwana. You can.
But narratives are not necessarily.
No, Jagero,
a narrative
to answer.
Can be constructed.
Are you trying to hackle DCP?
No, I'm not.
He's trying to put a priority issue, and that's why I've said
not a priority issue.
Some of these things, Jagero, to answer your question, are also a matter of internal coalition first and then dispersing. Because people keep saying, oh, DCP does not have an agenda and whatnot. I can tell you, the agenda is being discussed. It's only that we understand who we are dealing with. And the fact that the next government will be formed as a conglomeration of ideas, parties, individuals. We understand that what we crystallize into our final points need to carry into the next government. It does not matter who becomes the figurehead of that government. At the end of the day, will the taxpayers' payslip be dignified? That is the question we'll ask.
Can I ask you a question? Why haven't you talked with Wanjigi? Why haven't you? Because he's got
I mean,
ideas. Why
you see,
going and seeing him?
You see now that is, you're asking me a question that has so many variables. Why hasn't he talked to us?
No, but that's...
His SG is here.
That's not what I'm asking.
That's what I'm saying. The same variables that exist in the question I asked you is the same that exists in the question that you asked me.
You see, we have said this time without number.
You are not going to allow him to answer the question?
No, he has answered this question so many times, but you keep asking.
No.
But I've said there are so many variables to consider.
But now, look, because it's about unity.
Which variables?
It's about unity, and you're
There's
asking,
a
why
whole,
haven't they talked to us?
There's a whole other person that you're asking us to talk to that exists. That is Jimmy Wanjigi. He also has a say in that. Why hasn't he talked to us?
No, we are.
Why is that question to us? Why are you directing that question to us? Kiburi gani?
Jagero, you are not listening.
Okay, let me listen.
He's nitpicking.
Okay.
He's doing what he does best.
You remember immediately after launch of PLP party.
Okay. Martha Karua.
Yes. Mm-hmm. They met, all of them met at Karen Blinkson the whole day to discuss how they come together to defeat William. And I'll tell you what came out of that meeting. An agreement that William has to go. But what to do next was the biggest problem. Agreeing on what to do as a new government became hell of a question. So we are saying unity is something we want so badly. But the what on what are we uniting on? Because I have told you.
Don't you think that's a question that was coming too early in the day?
No.
At Karen Blinkson?
No.
So you want to ask us the question, but then tell him it was coming too early.
Jagero.
We will impeach you.
No,
go ahead.
It's very important.
Yeah.
You know what you are uniting on. When we come in this podcast, there is an unspoken thing that puts us on this table. The need to dispense what we have for the people.
Yeah.
But now, and I have given you a historical example of where the absence of the uniting agenda
caused problems
that put this country where we are. The fight for independence. All these people had one problem, Muzungu.
Aende
kabisa. Hatutaki Muzungu, amekalia shamba yetu. We could mention a million reasons why Muzungu anafaa kuenda. But they did not have an agenda that will unite them after Muzungu. So when Muzungu left, everyone came up with their own idea. Jem Kariuki felt, vile Kenyatta anafanya mambo sio vizuri. Hii mashamba pea watu acha kuwauzia. Bidar Kagia also said, no, the land policy we have is bad. People had this land before Mzungu came. Why are we holding it after Mzungu has gone? Kumu Karumba said, I don't even want politics, I'll do business. We don't even know where he was buried. There are two theories to his death. Haya. Jaramogi akasema pana. This is not why we fought. You understand? Because they were united by an enemy, but they couldn't be united by anything in the absence of that enemy. So in this case, when I tell you that we are united, that William Ruto must go, he's the immediate enemy we have. I can tell you, without an agenda. 3 months after election.
But don't you think that you guys can try again?
At
Karen Blinkson, you did not agree, but are you going to try?
Let me tell you.
Na sasa
we have 1 year.
Na sasa hii kiburi yenye
hakuna kiburi.
huyu jamaa anakataa.
You see, huyu jamaa hataki kuelewa. You think I keep on saying
a lot can happen.
I'm saying even Joachim, when it comes to political and coalition formation, it is uncomfortable and messy.
Okay.
Because these are watu upigana kwa sababu, like I've said, he has tried to enhouse all our issues into odious debt, right? But the person who I talked about, a JSS teacher, his or her immediate problem is not odious debt. Is that the tax regime in this country right now might be as a result of odious debt. Right? Calm down. We are in the thinking of a teacher. Joachim, we are in the thinking of a teacher who has just received.
The problem with you bully around your.
No. And that's what I'm trying to say.
Choice of words in messaging is very important.
No. I want you again.
When you say might,
let me tell you, Joachim. Let me tell you.
No, but do you want him to immediately say that
let me tell you
about? He can't say might to appease you.
No. Let me tell you, Jagero. Yes. Allow me to finish this point.
Please
you
let
see,
me finish the point.
Yes. I do not disagree that odious debt is an issue. However, I am telling you, in the mind of a person whose salary has just hit their bank account, and they see the deductions on that money, their first thought is not about odious debt.
Yes.
It is about serikali imechukua hii pesa.
Yes.
Nalipishwa housing enye sijui inaenda wapi. Kuna deduction ya SHA enye nikienda hospitali haitanisaidia. There is a help loan there that I need to clear. There is another deduction, depending on which circle I am in and what not, that has already gotten my salary reduced. So if it is 30,000 and you're looking at a salary of 23,000, right? There is 7,000 that has gone. I am not thinking about odious debt in that moment.
Yeah.
It might be an overlying issue later when I think the reason why Ruto is taking all this money is because of odious debt. But when I realize that I have to now factor in 23,000 now to reduce rent, expenses and all that, then that becomes the issue to talk about. And when we go to sit down and as opposition and discuss, everybody brings the problem according to how it is framed by his people. And let me tell you, Joachim, there are people who come from Safina who also carry an issue of odious debt, right? It is very well framed within the Safina area. And unfortunately, and the risk of that is that it might exist in an echo chamber. That you're looking at it for a situation where you think that is what is on people's mind, the same way it is on your mind. Now, for us, we are cognizant that what we have as priorities might not be the priorities of Safina.
And this is what I keep saying, that even when Wesley says that they are going to be dealing with the issue of the pay slip, that is what the people understand. And therefore,
it is a very framed.
The bigger issue could be them also dealing with the odious debt, because when you deal with the odious debt, definitely. It follows without saying that he's going to deal with the payslip, and that's what he's saying.
That's what I'm saying. These two things can exist in a parallel.
This might be the problem with your party, because you are creating something that is very difficult to break down. And I keep telling you.
No. You are the people who are pretending that this thing is very difficult to
It's called a monopoly of issues.
No, let me tell you, it's not.
Can we finish the podcast?
No. You cannot say
No.
So let's deal with the issue of the payslip.
Yes.
It's an issue of taxation. Sindio?
Yes.
We've just said that why do we need more and more taxes? Why is it that next year taxes on the payslip will be higher than today? Because it will be higher, whether we like it or not.
It is odious debt. You're saying the answer for him will be odious debt.
No, if you have a different answer,
and sometimes it might also be just debt, not necessarily odious.
Yes, it just might be debt.
If Ruto is taking 1.1 trillion this year, then it might not necessarily be odious.
I told you how that debt is
broken down.
Oh, a bit of it.
I told you.
A bit of it.
It's not a bit of it.
It was 1.1 against 660. 760.
Okay, what is the projected internal borrowing of the coming year? Projection year, domestic borrowing, 900 billion. Then around 150 billion external.
Yeah.
So a huge chunk of the debt is internal, which is missing in our estimates. So which means all the 900 billion is odious. Do you understand?
Yes.
So if we will need money to pay that 900 billion, we will borrow next year. Are we then collecting taxes to pay odious debt? Yes, we are. Let me tell you, all these problems that we are facing, whether in agriculture, in manufacturing, in health. There's a friend of mine here who has said, you have not talked about manufacturing. And let me tell him how we have talked about manufacturing.
Odious debt.
No. Manufacturing, it demands that you set up industries. Setting up industries, you need money to set it up. So out of your revenue, you are remaining with only less than 10%. How do you do manufacturing? Why is it that Moses Kuria moved across the country to set up
special economic zones?
Special economic zones. Zilienda wapi?
Nilianguka na maji. We need to speak to stop this for today. We'll talk about it another time. I really enjoyed this conversation today. And thank you, Mr. Wesley, for coming. It was really enjoyable listening to you. I think that a lot of people, it is very difficult for me sometimes to host a lot of people because when I bring a one-time guy, people are making noise that you are Sasa namna gani, when Odhiambo is here, everybody's making noise. But I love this conversation because I think people of the internet, as Kenyans, everybody has to come to this platform and talk about what they think.
Sure.
A lot of people were blaming me, by the way, sometimes back because I was not getting a lot of DCP guys coming, and I was not getting a lot of people from other places coming. In fact, they told me that this podcast is a nylon podcast, and with the courier coming again and again,
and coming for DCP no less,
yeah.
You cure two problems.
Yeah, so I think it's a beautiful thing. I hope that you enjoy it when you come here.
I do.
Thank you very much. People of the internet, always a pleasure. I want to thank Howie, who's been on the tech together with Frank. The gentleman John Tess, who is on TikTok, and the cameras, thank you very much. The people of the internet that are always gathering around this fireplace and making this a beautiful conversation. There is always, I don't know if you see the town hall that is usually going on there.
In the comments, yes.
Their own conversation.
There is an NIS lady there called Annie, who is really disturbing us.
But they create their own conversations most of the time.
Yeah.
You look at the comments and it has nothing to do with what you're talking about.
They argue amongst themselves.
Wanagombana.
Wanasema kwanza umeingia maneno ya Ndindi. Nimeona tu Sifuna and Ndindi same WhatsApp group.
People of the internet, thank you very much. Until another episode, bye for now. All right, people of the internet, I hope that you're enjoying this episode very much. And I just had a break to tell you about my new book. You know, everybody says that there is no job, and that is true. Also, that was me 10 years ago. The problem is that everybody is trying to get a job in their town, in their city, in their marketplace. They ask friends for jobs, mothers call uncles, uncles call brothers, but there are no jobs. Let me tell you what no one is telling you. Jobs migrated online. What I actually mean is there are many jobs around the world and there is no one to do them except you. I work for Americans myself. I work for Europeans. I work for the Chinese. I work for the Australians. I work for the Canadians. And so, because I have done so much for myself, I said to myself, you know what? I should compile what I've been doing for the last 15 years. So in 2024, I wrote a digital book called Goldmine 18 Hustles for Africans. And then in 2025, AI came. People say AI is taking away our jobs. And for me, I'm going to say false. There are actually AI jobs. Jobs are not being taken by AI, but there are new jobs online that are there because of AI. Now, mimi ni nani? I created more jobs. And for now, in my new book, we have 25 online and offline jobs that you can leverage on if you do not have a job. So in this powerful volume 2, I share 25 new actionable online hustles specifically researched and tailored for Africans. My new book provides clear step-by-step guidance drawing from my extensive experience and research, including the mistakes I've made and lessons I've learned over the 15 years that I have worked online. So, what can you do online? You can become an executive assistant for busy folks in Europe, America, Canada, and get paid for tasks like watching videos and taking online surveys. Okay? You can build a lot of things. Build a business as a virtual assistant, start an e-commerce shop without capital, be an affiliate marketer, or you can also become actually an English tutor and tens of AI jobs. If you have a job, that is fine. But I also know that you can buy this book for that brother, for that sister, for that mother, for that cousin, for that husband who is watching Netflix all day at home. Buy it for your friend who is always asking for cash. You know that friend. Now, all the information is on the description below. You can also inbox me, you can WhatsApp me, or go to my website, which is odworjegero.co.ke.